Haji Ali Dargah is one of the most popular religious places in Mumbai, visited by people of all the religions alike. Haji Ali Dargah is one of the India's most famous and prestigious landmarks, situated around 500 yards from the Mumbai shoreline, in the middle of the Arabian Sea of Lala Lajpatrai Marg. The structure was erected on a set of high-rising rocks and was given its present-day shape in the early 19th century after the trust was legally formed as an entity in 1960. Haji Ali Dargah is the complex housing of the tomb of the Muslim saint Fir Haji Ali Shah Bukhari. Along with the tomb, there is also a masjid at Haji Ali. The monument has been sentinel to the shores of Mumbai since a long time. The structure has white domes and minarets reminiscent with the Mughal architecture of the period. The Dargah is a renowned pilgrimage site among the Muslims. Non-Muslims are also allowed to visit the Dargah. The white-colored structure attracts visitors in large numbers. About 10 to 15,000 people visit the Dargah on daily basis. The number of visitors increases to 20 to 30,000 on Thursdays, Fridays and Sundays. Lakhs of devotees visit the Dargah on the second day of Ramadan Eid and Bakrid Eid, and during which the pathway leading to the Dargah complex looks like a sea of humanity. People from all parts of the world, without restrictions of caste, creed and religion, visit the Dargah to offer their prayers and for the fulfillment of the wishes by the blessings of the saint Fir Haji Ali Shah Bukhari. Some pray of wealth, others for health, children, marriages, etc., and have their wishes being granted at all times. Let's go into a small history of Fir Haji Ali Shah Bukhari. There have been several saints who have travelled far from India, white to India, spreading the word of Islam, like Kavja Garib Nawaz and many other shrines who migrated to India from the Arab countries and Persia. They came as and when informed by their own institution or will as per the instruction of Prophet Muhammad, as envisioned in their dreams or by wisdom of faith, as pointed by our spiritual power given to them by the Allah. The spread of Islam as a whole in India is a story of the gradual growth of Islamic religion, essentially through various itinerant Sufi saints and traders who settled among the local indigenous population. A magnificent example of such a spread of Islam by an Iranian saint is that of Fir Haji Ali Shah Bukhari. It is a belief of the Muslims that the only saints who sacrifice and devote their lives in the way of Allah are immortal. Their stature is equivalent to that of the martyrs, as they have renounced the worldly lives of Allah and are called Shahadat-e-Humi. There are many miracles that have happened during the life of Fir Haji Ali Shah Bukhari and after his death. Whatever is known about Fir Haji Ali Shah Bukhari is learned from the caretakers and trustees from generation to generation, as the saint never married, has no descendants too. Some people tried to portray themselves as its descendants or heirs and have destroyed the exact history of the saint, the tomb, and the barga. It is learned from the riwayat that Fir Haji Ali Bukhari was sitting at some lonely place in his hometown and was busy in his prayers when a lady passed by from there crying and screaming. When the saint inquired about her crying, she pointed to an empty vessel in her hand and said that she had dropped some oil, and if she goes home without the oil, her husband would beat her. She was crying in need of help. The saint asked her to be calm and went with her to the place where the oil had been dropped. He then took the vessel from the wailing lady and pushed the earth with his thumb. The oil came out like a fountain and the vessel was full. The saint gave her the vessel with oil and she went happily. However, after that, the saint was troubled by dreams by having wounded the earth by striking in its manner. Full of remorse and grief from that day, he became very serious and was not keeping well. Then, with the permission of his mother, he travelled to India with his brother and finally reached the shores of Mumbai, near Worli, or at some places opposite the present town. His brother went back to the native place. Fir Haji Ali Bukhari sent a letter with him to the mother informing her that he was keeping good health and that he had decided to reside at the place permanently for the spread of Islam and that she would forgive him. Until his death, he was praying and giving knowledge about Islam to the people and devotees who regularly visiting him. Before his death, he has advised his followers that they should not bury him at any proper place or graveyard and should drop his shroud in the ocean such that it should be buried by the people where it is found. His wish was obeyed by his followers. That is why the Dargah Sharif is built at the very site where his shroud came to rest in the middle of the sea, where it was perched on a small mound of rocks.